Hi, and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm glad you can join me today. It's getting close to Christmas, and I know a lot of people have a lot of things happening, so I'm just making sure we're coming to you in the right place, and looks like we are. I'm going to show you today how you can decorate your table. I still haven't got mine organised. I've got all the other Christmas things planned, done, bought, wrapped, cards sent, presents wrapped under the tree, Santa's all organised, but I haven't got anything for the table set up. So I'm going to be working on it all day today, I think, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to turn you down to the desk and we'll get started. We're going to do 5 different elements today, so I have to keep this moving so we get it done. Just getting you down there now. We'll just get this happening. It's a bit of a mess, my desk, because I've been doing so much. Right. I think we're a little bit crooked, but that mightn't be too bad now. Okay, let's show you what we're going to do. I'm actually going to show you all the pieces we're going to make so that you get an idea. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we need placemats on our table. So I'm doing 2 different placemats. I've got a green and a red accent. Now, my table is being set and dressed with the Joy of Christmas suite because I love the holly look on our Christmas table, so that's why I'm doing that. So here's our placemats. Now, I've got alternating. I'm only needing to set a table for 8, so I'm alternating between the red and the green. Then I'm going to give them their cutlery in a little pack. Now, it's probably a bit hard to see on the green, so we have the placemats. I'll move them aside a bit. We have the cutlery. We need a wine glass. So, does that show? Do I need to? You can't see. So that's what I've done with the wine glass, so that it's got everyone's initial on it. So when you take your glass and walk away from the table, everyone still knows whose glass is whose. So we've got the wine glass. We'll just pop that up there. We have the table setting. I'm also giving everyone a little bit of a bonbon. These little tiny bonbons, I'm using them for a couple of purposes. It's going to be their name place on the table, but it also is going to be their little gift, take-home gift, and I'm going to put a few little chocolates. I put in some of these. Let's get them. They're up here. I had to hide them up the top of my desk so that little fingers or big fingers didn't grab them. We'll pop a few little Santas inside, Santa chocolates. And then lastly, we all need a centerpiece for our table. And mine's going to be very simple. I'm actually putting some a tray down, and I'll have some rosemary spread around the tray from our garden. And I've got a candle. Well, I'm actually going to have 3 candles that I'm going to put in the centre. So I'm going to show you how to make all these elements. They're not that time consuming, but when you're doing a lot, it does take a little bit of time. So the first thing we'll start with, I'll just move everything out of the road. We're going to start with our placemats, and these are the easiest thing ever. So I'm going to bring in 3 sheets of paper. So I'm going to make a green and a red one because that's all I've got left to do on the placemats, and then they're done. I'll be crafting all afternoon, I think. And I've got here, so again, this is the Joy of Christmas paper, and I'm going to cut just 5.5 centimetres off this one. And another 5.5 for the second one. Now, to do this, I used my grid. I placed my paper here along the 5 centimetre line, and I just took a squirt, is that a word for glue, squirting? I just ran quickly just along the edge here, and then to make sure I was perfectly straight, I had that all lined up, making sure it's perfectly straight, and I just take this piece and line it up with the bottom line of my grid and place it over here. So that way I know everything's square and in line, and it's not because I moved it. There it is. Now a bit of glue there, so I'm just going to take my baby wipe and run along. And do the same here in case there's any glue. Now if I chose papers that matched, that looked lovely on the other side, you could use both sides. This doesn't really appeal to me on this side, but I'm using that side. So there's that one, and I'll quickly do this one. And we have, you can see why I've got this element done. It was the quickest and the easiest. Again, we'll line it up at the 5 centimetre mark and at the edge here. So we know it's completely straight, and we'll pop our glue on. And place this down on the line, making sure the ends match up. And I just run the, and it moved because I was pushing too hard. We'll just line it back up again. Right. And just wipe it. And that's done. Placemats, all the placemats are done now. So that's really easy to create a placemat for someone on their table. So now we've done that, we're going to get on to doing for our cutlery. So I'll just pop that to the side so you can see what we're working on. What I'm going to do is I've already cut my pieces of paper. These were 12 by 12, and I've just cut them into quarters. And I'm going to run this die through to make the outside. And I'm also going to run through a couple of holly leaves. So we'll just move that all aside. I may have to move you anyhow, so I can bring in our cut and emboss machine. So we'll just pop this on here. And through we go. That one out of the road for a minute. Oh, there went the die under the glass mat. And well, let's just lift this and get the die back out. Sorry, it flew away. Right, we go. So we've now got a large circle. So I'll put that aside. And that bit can go in the recycling. And I need to cut 2 holly leaves. And I'll just quickly do that. There's one. And you need to poke in to get the leaf out. But you want to get these bits out also, so that you get good clean cutting. So I just use my pick and pull them out. And we'll do another one here. Trying to get the most out of this piece of cardstock. Right. Well, that's how it is. All those bits stay. We'll just pop that over here for a minute. So we have our holly leaves and our circle. Now, to turn our circle into our cutlery holder, I'm going to score at 4. Now, if I look on this side, I actually scored it on this side so I could see that I was straight. And I've got the music so that it looks okay when you take your napkins out. You don't want your music crooked, or I can't tell you if it's upside down or not. Oh yes, I can, because I've got one of those. But you don't want it crooked or going on a diagonal or something. So that's just scored at 4. And I'll just fold those in. Now, I'm not worried that they're about making them as sharp as possible, because I'm actually happy to have it a little bit loose. So I'm going to put a little bit of, I like using Tombow or the multi-purpose glue, because it is a very strong hold once it's stuck. Now, I don't want to glue it down tight. I don't need to flatten these 2 bits completely down. So I'm just putting the ribbon on to hold it in place for a minute. And with my holly leaves, I'm just going to cut the ends off. And I'll need some tear and tape, and I'll need some ribbon. And where did I put my ribbon? I had everything ready, I thought. Did I put it over here? No, I've run out of ribbon, so I'm using an old reel of ribbon. Oh, it's right in front of me. What am I thinking? So that's starting to take up. Once that's taken up, we'll be able to put the ribbon on it. Now, next thing I'm going to do is make a little tag for it. Do you have heaps of these? I have heaps of these. When you're cutting out your cardstock ready to go inside your card and you cut 1 centimetre off it. I have lots of these 1 centimetre strips, but they're perfect for this little Christmas greeting, Happy Christmas Wishes. It's a perfect size, so I'm just going to, I'll use the shorter one this time, stamp Happy Christmas Wishes on it. And Happy Christmas Wishes is out of the Festive Fun stamp set. I'll just try and keep you informed what I'm using. so that if you want to do these, you can. So I'm just going to stamp it here. Oh, it's a bit high, isn't it? I need to put my head over it a bit more. I'll just grab one of the other ones. It's a bit hard when I'm trying to not get my head in the road. That's a bit better. So we've got Happy Christmas Wishes. And I'm just going to cut it on an angle. I'm just going to cut that a little bit closer. So that's ready to go. And that's stuck. We'll pop that out of the road. We'll take our ribbon. And I worked out we need about 50 centimetres. So I'll just measure that off here. And all I'm going to do is tie the ribbon around it. And tie a bow. Where is it? Come through. I need more. Oh, it's not a very good bow. Can't have that bow. I might tie a knot and then I don't have to hold it and I might be able to get the bow looking nicer. That's better. There we are. That's looking a bit better. So we've got a nice little bow there happening. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my holly leaves. So I'm just going to move the bow down for a second. Come on, glue. I'm using a lot of the ends of the glue that I had for classes because I haven't got classes till February now. And I thought I'll use up all these little bits of glue so that we can start afresh. And then we'll just move that back up there. And that's just hiding the ends of the holly. And then to hold our Happy Christmas Wishes in place, I'm just going to pop a couple of mini dimensionals on the back. And I'm just going to pop this on like so. And that's all there is to it. Just a circle, large circle. That's the largest of the deckled circles. Large circle. And all I'm going to do, now I've got linen napkins, but they're drying on the line. So all I did with the paper napkin, because they were a little bit shorter than what I wanted, I folded, it's got Merry Christmas that I don't want sticking out, so I folded the Merry Christmas in, and then I folded it into thirds. And then I can put my cutlery on. And it just slides in like so. Oh, come on now, can you work perfect with the other one? It's because I'm doing it on the video. All right, let's see if you'll slide in on your own. It's not funny when you do it the first time you think, oh, that's going to be easy. And then the second time it just says, not so easy. It was so easy before. Here we go, here we go. And then we'll just place our knife and fork in here. So there we go. So that's 2 down. I've got 8 to go, but I won't do them right now. I'll do them after. So easy to do your cutlery. Next, wine glass. So easy. This is the easy peasy one. I've got all these little bits here that we need. And we need a stamp. And there was a little bit of gold. So we'll just put that over in the corner again. The first thing is I'm using the deckled circles again to match in. And this one is the 5th smallest. So I'm just going to cut that out. I'm also going to, while I'm cutting that out, I'm going to use, this is coming out new in the catalogue, the new catalogue that was coming in January. It's the mini alphabet dies, and it's got all the alphabet that you need and all the extra pieces, question marks, exclamation marks, brackets. But I don't want to cut out all of the alphabet with my gold paper because I don't want to waste paper that I'm not going to use right now. So I've just cut a small square, and I need a P for Peter. So I'm going to put that over there. So we'll bring in our cut and emboss machine. It will be jumping in and out a bit today. I'll just move this and these. Right. Now I'll move it back and we'll start it on this side. So to do things differently, I'm going to take my top plate that I normally have and put it on the bottom, and my messy plate I'm going to put on the top because I'm going to do this backwards so that I can see what I'm doing. So I've got my die sitting upside down, and I'm putting over the P my piece of gold, and this is the plate that gets all messed up because of the cutting blade, and I'm just going to run it through. And now I have 1p. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Okay, but for the front, for the other one, don't need to do it that way. Go back to the normal way, and I'm going to cut this through. Now, we'll just move this off again for the minute. Now, how do I make this have a circle, a hole? I cut a template, and because I'm doing so many of them, I thought I'd better have a template. So, well, I'm doing 8, but I thought it was easier. So I just cut another deckled circle in plain white cardstock, folded it in half and in half again, so in quarters, and just cut the centre out. Now, I will tell you it was a little bit tight, but I'll actually do what I did before. So what next I did was, or what I'm doing is next put the template on, and I just got the end of my Stampin' Right marker and drew a circle. Then I lifted that up so I knew if I did cut between those two lines, I'll have a straight line. And we just then do this. Cut up to there, cut up to the circle. And because I discovered it was a bit tight, I'm just cutting a little bit further out. It also means I won't get any of that black texture. And it doesn't have to be 100% perfect because it's sitting around the glass. No one's going to really notice. So then that's done. But I want to decorate it, so I'm going to bring in my stamping mat and stamp 2 sets of holly leaves. I tried using the big holly that I cut one of these, but they're way too big, and I thought, no, we need to go down to the smaller holly leaves. And we'll just die cut those out. So I'll pop that over there. We'll bring back this machine. Oh, where would we be without our cut and emboss machines? So it just lines up. Oh, that's better. And this holly is out of, which set? It's out of the Sending Cheer set, the holly and the die. So I'm jumping all over the place with different stamp sets and things today, but it's just what works really well. And that's the thing about Stampin' Up, all their things coordinate. I love the coordination they have. Oh, I can't. That looks about right. No, I just moved it. I've put the plate on. This plate's, it's bent slightly. I'm going to turn it around this way. Oh, bang. Bang, crash. That's looking okay. It's hard when I'm not got my head right over it. But I'm sure you don't want to see my big head in the thing. And we'll just run that back through. Now, I'll put my die up here so we don't lose it. Rubbish in the bin. Grab the holly leaves. And let's get rid of this for the minute. And all I did was take, I'll get rid of you for a minute, put the sliced bit away from me, and I just glued the initial on. And the holly on. And got some festive dots in red to be my berries. not on top of a berry. There we go. Oh, it's not going to cooperate. There's always one. There we go. And that's it. That's my wine glass cupboard. One of those just fell off. Now it's going to stick to me. I want you to stick to the cardstock. Push them down. And it just slides on your glass. Like so. Now that is a bit small. I could cut that a bit wider. But it still works. So there's 2 glasses down. Quick, simple, again. But making it all look festive. So 3 elements down, 2 to go. My next one is this gorgeous little box that we're going to put some chockies in. So the first thing I did was I took some of this beautiful cardstock and I cut out my bonbon. Now we made these bonbons a little while ago in one of my lives, so I'll go through it again, how I've done this one. Oh, come on. There we go. Get all those pieces off. And there we have our bonbon. Now, to colour it, I just used, here they are, granny apple green and shaded spruce. So I'm just going to colour the holly leaves in shaded spruce. And you don't have to be perfect with it. All you're doing is just trying to add a little bit of colour. There's another one here. And we'll do this one too. And then the leaves that are flat or straight edged, I use granny apple green. So there was just some difference in them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and colour this piece all the way through, because with the magic of television, as they say, here's one I prepared earlier. But that's what I've done. And here's the finished. So it just takes a few minutes to colour, but we don't need to go through all that right now, do we? So I'll pop that side, I'll finish that one after. Easy to make these, and I did use a bone folder to get these ones crisp. You're just folding each scored line, and we've got a couple on this side. And then we're folding these 2 together. So I'm going to put some multi-purpose glue again on here. And here. Come on, you've stopped. come on. Thank you. Now you give me too much. And there we go. And while that's drying for a minute, I need to cut and emboss machine again. I'm just going to cut out. This comes with the dies. We're using the upside down, the cracker and treat box dies, and it comes with a variety of little labels. I'm using this one with the rounded corners, and you also can put stars or you can put little tags on as well. I'm just going to quickly cut this through, and I think this might be where I last cut with the cutting. No, oh yes, I can do, I've got leaves already cut. I could cut actually a leaf or two while I'm putting this through, couldn't I? I'll just tear those bits off so I can fit it in. And where did I put my leaf? I put it somewhere. I've got so many bits and pieces because of this. I've got leaves cut. We'll leave that. Oh dear me. I'll just cut this out, eh? I got my daughter to cut out a number of leaves for me before we started so that we had plenty. Don't lose any of that. Here's my label. Oh, come on, label. And here's a couple of leaves I cut out earlier. Okay, we need some ribbon again. Just to tie the ends, and I just do it while it's on the spool. Yes, we've got plenty. I just thought, oh, are we running out? I've used that much ribbon today. And just ease it in. Once you've got it in tight enough, you can leave them pulled in like that, but you either want to have all of them pulled in or all of them are sitting out so they look nice. And just a little bow. Don't need too big a bow. And we'll just cut the end of this one. And we'll pop 3 chocolates inside. And tie another bow. Need you over that side this time, ribbon. And we'll cut that off here. So we might actually just cut this one down just a tad. Now, again, both ends are looking nice. I've got full of chocolates. So I'm just going to get the bows sitting nicely. Perhaps that way. Looks all right. And for these, again, I'm going to chop the ends off. And I'll grab a different glue since that one stopped cooperating. And we're just going to pop more that way, I think. And that one there. Now this one, look, you could get a gold pen. I was going to, but I went to try my gold pen and it had run out. So I'm just using one of our markers and I'm going to put Peter's name on this one. There we go. Nothing fancy. And with a couple of little dimensionals, I'm just going to adhere it to the box. So as I said, these double as a treat for them, a treat box, a little gift to take, but it also is their name place on the table. And I'll just pop that there. So there's my little gifts for them. And lastly, we have a candle to do. And this is very, very simple. The only thing I forgot to do was measure how wide I need this. 5 centimetres. 5 centimetres. So we'll take our not our cut and boss, our trimmer, and I'll take 5 centimetres. Put that aside. Oh, I actually had to cut some off, didn't I? This is how I measured it. I literally just went round and went, yep, I need to cut about that much off. Which, if I put it on the, it's about 6.5 centimetres. And all I did, again, I used the Tombow because I like Tombow, it holds tight, is I place, oh that was the bad one, let's get the good one. I place a little bit of Tombow on this end and a little bit of Tombow on this end. And then I put them together and just hold it for a minute, and that will then stay on the candle. I then took 4 leaves. Here's some I prepared earlier, and again I cut the ends off them. Get those out of the road. Poke those through. And with my Tombow, I just put a little bit of glue on the bottom of the leaf there. And I stuck it onto the candle. Now I think I need a little bit on that one too. I'll just have to hold it for a second. And I'll put a second one so that matches what I've been doing with the bonbons. Come on. All these glues are running low. Okay, I can't shake it too well because I've got a sore shoulder, so I'll just grab another one. We'll find one that works. She says in hope. And that one goes there. And then I just turned it so its candle doesn't have just a front. It has two fronts. And did exactly the same on the other side. Now when you're burning these candles, having paper around them can be dangerous. So you have to be present and watch what's happening. I also have my candles on a tray. These will go on a nice tray. I think I've got a gold tray I've got to put them on with some of the rosemary around them. And I've got a fair distance before the paper is anywhere near the flame, but I wouldn't be burning it past the paper. I would take this off and use the candle on its own without that. And then all I do to finish it off, take some tear and tape and I popped it over the ends of my holly. Got my ribbon and allowed for, I might put it on this side, allowed for a bow and just placed the ribbon over the tear and tape and then around over the tear and tape and around to this side so I can tie it. Now if I hold it on there, I just do this, I just cut it about the same size. And I'll do a knot like I did before. Oh, come on. And then my bow. And that is my table centerpiece. So we have two now, and I'll do one more. So I'll have the three on the center of the table. So that is our Christmas. We have our centerpieces, will you stay there? We have our bonbons. We have our wine glasses. Our cutlery. They can come in a bit more. And our placemats. If I can get them in. So that's how I'm doing my table this year. I hope it gave you some ideas on how you can do your table. And that it is really quite easy to do. I'll just get rid of all that mess, eh? Push this down so you can get a better look. So it really is quite easy to do with just things you've got already at home and can look very festive. Now I'm going to swing you back up to me. We'll just... I hope that's in the right place. Hopefully you can see me now. Oh, technology and I don't get on very well. But we've managed it. Yes, there I am. I can see I've made it. Okay, I hope you have a lovely Christmas and that I've inspired you to make it a bit more festive around your place, and stay safe. There's so many people out and about this Christmas. I suppose they are always, but it's crazy. So stay safe, look after yourself, stay healthy and enjoy your Christmas. And I'll see you all again next week when we start to discover what else might have been in the old mini catalogue that's about to retire, and we'll be starting to move towards the new mini catalogue. So have a good Christmas and I'll see you next week. Bye.